Hi there, Chris here with another quick tip for you all. In this video we're going to continue our look at painting the Mistweaver from the Silver Tower Warhammer Quest box set. And so as you can see here, we're going to be working on the armor of the model. And the armor I decided to go with kind of like a dark elf, kind of dark Eldar kind of feeling. And so for that we're going to start off with some Abaddon Black and some Incubi Darkness. Incubi Darkness is one of my favorite colors to use to highlight black with. We're going to use some Lamayan Medium. We're going to mix this in roughly a 3-to-1 mix ratio. I always say roughly because, again, drawing paint with your paintbrush is not an exact way of measuring out how much paint, but you get used to it. With the medium, we help thin it out just a little bit, and of course, it's not quite a glaze. We're laying the paint on here, and again, we're getting a fair amount of coverage. We're covering some areas like the hook there, or the spikes, I guess, on the shoulder pads, and the knives on the elbows and such. They're done about 3/4 of the way, whereas most of the armor is only about half the way. And we're pushing the color upwards. So like on the shoulder pads, we're pushing the color up in the uppermost points. The face mask, we're pushing it up to the uppermost points, as well as a lot of the corners and things. We're bringing everything to the corners, basically just to accentuate the sharp edges and corners of the armor and such. We're not going to be worrying about the gold at this moment in this video. We're just mainly concerning ourselves with highlighting the black of the armor, and of course the staff here. I figured, well, since I'm doing the armor, I might as well do the staff as well. And so I begin to throw color down onto the staff as well. Now the staff will have the same highlights and everything, or similar highlights as the rest of the armor. Everything that's black, pretty much, on this model. Next, we're going to come in with some Incubi Darkness, and we're going to throw another little amount in, and making it roughly a 2-to-1 mix ratio. Again, we're building up. The whole main point of building these slow increments up like this is because I want to preserve the black on the model. I do not want to have Incubi Darkness really dominate the model. I just want to really kind of bring out that color. Again, remaining quite dark and ominous feeling, and again, remaining with the character of the model. And of course, this kind of highlighting scheme works well with most, evil or dark kind of models, or even like, Space Marines, Raven Guard, things like that. Imperial Fists, or not Imperial Fists, Black Templars, things like that. And Dark Eldar, of course, this will work well. This kind of bringing the color up. Incubi Darkness is a really good color for highlighting black. Next, we're going to take Incubi Darkness all on his lonesome little bit of medium, and we're going to catch the forward leading edges of the pads again. Again, we've switched to our detail brush now, as we are not laying very much of this color down. Again, we're just pretty much laying almost like little lines, and just going for little corners, almost like a little edge highlight. You can see here is just about a last third of that spike, and then I'm going to catch just some of that edge that comes down from the spike as well. Again, you can see from the spikes on the elbows, or the little knives or whatever. The other little knives are depicted painted gold, so again, we'll be painting those gold when we get to it. And you can see again, it's just simply highlighting the forward points. Not a whole lot of colors being laid down, so it goes by fairly quickly. And you can see we're just catching just the tip of the point, and then catching just some of that edge, just to kind of bring it out. It's not quite like a non-metallic metal effect we're doing here. It's just more or less just kind of bringing out just kind of the high points and some of those edges as well. Again, trying to keep the highlights very, very minimal, so that we can really build up some nice highlights. Again, preserving that dark color. The helmet decided to do like the rest of the armor, instead of how it was done on the box art, which is kind of given this sort of non-metallic metal look, where it's kind of a brighter, stylized approach to the rest of the armor. I didn't really feel it was entirely necessary, and felt, again, with the way I'm going to finish this model, the head will remain quite scary looking if it's dark. Stegodon Scale Green is next. This is going to be our next highlight color. And again, you can see here is a very minimal amount is being applied to the model. And this is going to be just for the edges, just for the corners. Again, for the uppermost points here, it's almost like a little dot in some areas. Again, catching some of those edges on the blades and such. And you can see as we've built up a slow transition of color, you can see how it really does preserve the black feeling of the armor and yet provide the highlights. And again, as I mentioned before, this is a really fun way to highlight black. If you've never used this color before, I definitely would recommend picking up some, mainly because if you mix Sotek green, I do believe it's a turquoise color, or teal, turquoise color, it's a blue-green. And if you mix that with black, equal parts 1-to-1, you end up with this Incubi Darkness. And so that's why I really like this color, because again, a lot of people I know like to highlight with a turquoise color for their black, and Incubi Darkness is already that beginning step in that mixture. And so to make things really, really dark, I like to preserve, just bringing it up just a little bit from Incubi Darkness, not too far. Again, because you really want to preserve that darkness. You don't want to have too much of the blue-green at play on the model. You still want it to feel dark. Again, you can see there was highlighting that central point on the mask there. Again, bring more like definition in. And then really quickly here, we're going to grab some Thunderhawk Blue. Now with this highlight here, I kind of was going for a bit of a non-metallic metal look where I was going to highlight most of the outer edges of things. Kind of decided against it in some points. For some areas it was kind of working for me, and some areas it really wasn't. So I just played with it as is and just kind of, ran with it really. And you can see here we're simply catching just that final edge on the knee spike or knee horn, whatever that is. Knee horn? Again, you can see there with the transition of color how nice and everything looks with that black in there. Again, you see the blades are really kind of brought out to a nice bright point. The shoulder pads is just a little edge highlight just at the very corners. Shoulder spike, again, will be done just the same way. And that is really it. You really don't want to take it any brighter. I mean, the helmet, you probably could go a little bit brighter, but again, because it's kind of got more reflectivity. You see the shoulder pad there. We finally got that one little central highlight running through the center of that shoulder pad. And again, with the mask, we're just bringing more of that highlight under the outer edges and everything like that. Again, that's where I mentioned I was going for a bit of a non-metallic metal feeling on it. But that is really it. That's when you're highlighting black. A really great color to use is Incubi Darkness. I definitely would recommend it for anybody out there who's not already using it. Again, it's a really great way to preserve the black quality of your black. But that is it. That's the armor of the Mistweaver from the Warhammer Quest box set. It's as easy as that. We've got even more painting tutorials in the Silver MiniWarGaming Vault. You can watch another one today about how I finish off the smoke on the model. Just click on the video link description below and you can sign up for a free 7-day trial. Make sure you click the silver membership so you gain access to all the painting tutorials. And so thank you for watching and happy wargaming.